Morning, people. How y'all doing this morning? First of all, I just want to say thank you and welcome to Topic Mixer. I'm glad you're watching this video. Um, Make sure that you like and subscribe below to my videos. This video is going to be simple. I'm going to start out with a couple of good things to say right now. First of all, I give all honor and praise to God. And I am a believer of Jesus Christ. I hope that you are too. If you're not, just remember that Jesus came to save everyone who is willing to believe that he died and rose again. So I'm going to say that this morning, first of all. Then let me get into the meat of what I really wanted to talk about. So yesterday I was watching The View, something that I normally don't do. Uh, Sometimes I like their political discussions, sometimes I don't. But I realize that the people sitting there are very uninformed. Uh, what surprised me yesterday was when ALC was on the air, the attacks that came at her. Of course, I expected Meghan McCain to go after her, and what she did, of course, on the usual tip, she talked about the Bernie Bros and how they're horrible and all this stuff. Considering that the party she's in, she got some people that say some pretty racist things, that don't mind saying violent things, don't mind putting guns in people's face. That's beside the point. Um, the one that really made me mad was Whoopi Goldberg. I watched her, and she tried to destroy AOC. First of all, she said that people like her were old and didn't matter. And Whoopi said, "I've been active all my life," so on and so forth. Okay, great, wonderful. I remember Live Aid that she did when I was a kid, and she was funny on those shows, and I could tell that she knew a lot about politics and stuff from her point of view. But what I haven't understood is her attacks on Bernie Sanders. And I kind of understood it today because what I saw was this. She said, "Hey, I don't really know what Bernie Sanders stands for." Man, how foolish does that sound? Bernie Sanders says every day what he stands for. He says he stands for working class Americans. That means whether they be black, brown, or white. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you're working class American, that's who he's for. Because they are the ones who take the brunt of everything. Billionaires got to cover it. They deserve their money and they earn their money. Yeah. But let's talk about this. People who work hard every day for minimum wage in some places, where people who work on jobs where the starting salary is $9 and $8 an hour. There are factories in this country where people are making $8.99 a day and they're working 10 hours a day on concrete floors. That is some pain. And I'm just being real with you. They don't have good health care. They don't have good benefits. But they work hard every day. They're trying to feed their families, and rent can be high. A place like New York City where $1,200 and $1,500 doesn't even get you a decent place to stay. Yet, here's Whoopi Goldberg sitting here attacking Bernie Sanders, who wants basic health care for all citizens, who wants good education for all citizens. The opportunity there wants to set the minimum wage at $15, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, $15 is not $1 million salary at all. Walmart just raised their employee salary to $15 an hour. Most other places, they start at $9 and $10 an hour. I think $15 an hour is a good minimum wage. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. How should it be implemented? It just depends. Maybe it should be progressively put in, but it should be at $15 an hour. But she says she has no idea what Bernie Sanders stands for. All I can say is, Whoopi, just take a chance and read. It might help you a little bit. Because while I'm watching your show, you sat there and stood for Bloomberg, who, by the way, had a policy against people that look like me. I ain't gonna lie, he had a policy against people that look like me. It's called stop and frisk. 650,000 people stopped, frisked illegally. Many of them put in jail and held in jail for months with trumped up charges that were dropped and then released. Never to go to court. Never to go to court. Secondly, I saw you defend Bloomberg. You tried to defend Bloomberg over Bernie Sanders. Man, please. Nah. I watched that show yesterday. I just was like torn up, man. Whippy, I thought you were better than that. But I could see that you weren't. By the way, your boy Bloomberg last night in the debate got tore up. I mean, they all came after him, pretty much. Sanders, he stood his ground. He had a moment. Everybody keeps talking about these Bernie bros. Yo, I don't know much about the Bernie bros. And whoever they are, I really think they are Russian plants. Because who the heck would do stuff like that? I mean, that's just sick. Making comments about people going after the unions. No, unions have been supporting workers for years. Trying to make sure they get good wages, making sure they get good benefits from their jobs. They stood in the gap because those same companies are paying thousands of dollars to a lot of these politicians for their own personal interests that has nothing to do with your rights. So let's be honest with you, So unions have been there for the people for years. So, I don't know who these Bernie bros are, but I wish they would go away. And I hope they do, because that is an embarrassment to the party. But like I said, in the debate, your boy Bloomberg got it. They talked about a stop and frisk policy. They talked about his fact that he's going from being a Democrat to being a Republican, back to being a Democrat again, all because of convenience. He's a guy of convenience. That means he has no real loyalty to anyone. It's just all about what Bloomberg needs to do for Bloomberg. So I don't see him as a great candidate. Let's talk about Biden. Biden's dropping, Buttigieg too, Klobuchar, Warren, I like Warren. I like a lot of stuff she says. I think she's a good person. Biden, he's great when he's vice president. Man, he did awesome when his vice president debate in that last race he had. Oh boy, that's drinking his water. But since then, he's just not seeming to be a viable candidate. And like I said, the one thing that they knock on Bernie is they supposedly his health. Hey, look at me. I'm younger than Bernie. I've had some issues too. But I'm still kicking. I'm moving around. So I can't say anything bad about him, man. But like I said, the biggest surprise was the attack on The View. One person was like, well, isn't Bernie Sanders an independent? He's not really a Democrat. Let me explain what's wrong with them. They have become the elites they say that they aren't. They are the elites because they're a voice of the mainstream now. When you become that voice of the mainstream, you become the elites that you preach against. And that's who they are. They are the same elitists that they have preached against for years. They are the mainstream. They are the one that they call themselves the centrist of the party. They're not really even centrist. Whoopi's sitting there. She may have came from a working class family, but she's not of working class and hasn't been one for a long time. Her kids are in good shape. She's in good shape. She stands for a lot of things, but elitism is an issue now. And so here come the working class folks saying, well, we want to get there too. Whoopi, you were once one of them. You have a problem with the policies that we believe in and the things that we stand for. But the working class people have been the backbone of America since the beginning of America. And I don't just mean just working class people, the guys who own farms, who work every day out there on those farms, raising corn, cattle, chickens. Chickens is like the thing in America, man. Everybody eats a chicken. Chicken is like the most sold produce in the world. And corn, it's used for various things, peanuts, all of that. Man, these are working class people. They're the people that deserve to be treated right. Because without them, your country doesn't run. Without them, this country isn't right. So, to see a person who, like you, Whoopi, who say you understand those things, I think now y'all have sort of forgotten that. And I think Bernie Sanders is the one who still understands that. He's been fighting for that for all his life, seems like. And I worry about the people that people are supporting. I worry about when we as a people, black people in particular, decide to give up on things and give in to people that aren't for us. And I don't think Mike Bloomberg is for us, but I hear a lot of people voting for him because they've seen his commercials on TV. It's really easy to watch commercials, and I understand everybody wants to be Donald Trump, but it's also important that we do something in Congress, that we change the faces in Congress so that we can stop getting these judges that will allow bad things. Think about it. The Supreme Court said it's okay for police to come into the house and kill somebody in their own house that they didn't have a warrant for. They said that was okay. I have a problem with that. Supreme Court's done other things. There's court cases out there that are disturbing, like education is not a right. There are cases now where they're trying to stop the Affordable Care Act. And we got the wrong judges sitting on the bench right now. So we need to change things. We need to change Congress. We need to change the White House. We need to work on our local elections so we can change things here too and be effective. Now, there's an emphasis in this country I think needs to be thought about. When I talk about working class people, skilled labor in the United States. We are lacking seriously in skilled labor in the United States. Everybody's pushing about more college, more college, more college. Great. College is good. Don't get me wrong. But skilled labor, we need electricians. We need carpenters. We need people who can work on computers. And they don't have to go to college for that. But that skilled labor is necessary. So we as a country need to work on that, making sure that we have more of these people available in the markets so that they can fill those positions. Heck, there's even opportunity for starting your own business, being a skilled labor person. An electrician can be an independent contractor. A plumber can be an independent contractor. Construction worker can be an independent contractor. Truck driver, independent contractor. There's so many things that are available out there, so many ways and so many opportunities. So, yes, I may be considered by my philosophy a capitalist socialist or a democratic socialist. But I believe in the capitalist system. I believe in people starting businesses and doing their own thing. But we've got to make those things available so they can. Because there's a lot of groups that are not being reached. So at this point, I'm going to end this. I want to thank you again for watching Topic Mixer. I kind of went around the world. But again, man, it's just something else to look at. Just remember, if you're voting in November, make sure that you are registered to vote. Now is a good time to do that. If you don't have any primaries, I think a lot of primaries may be too late for that, but it's time now to register. Here in Alabama, please register now. Our primaries come in March, so you still have an opportunity to get in the door. And if you have other issues, make sure that you contact your local voters registration office, especially if you've had a criminal background. That doesn't mean you can't vote. There's an opportunity for you to vote. So make sure that you go out and register to vote if you're registered. If you need to change where you are, make sure you do that as well. Again, my name is Al. This is Big Al's Topic Mixer, and thank you again for listening to me rant for a little while. If you like this, hit the like button below, and please subscribe. Have a wonderful day.